Hello and what is going on, guys, the boss here, and welcome to another video here on my channel. And today we're gonna jump into some pirate action on my main account as we're having the weekend event showing up in front of our doorstep. So we're gonna play today the Pirate Tales, which is a quite nice map. I like it very much, but like always I want to show you how my loadout looks like and how I managed to get 526 kills. So we're taking the cannon, the mortar, the honey gun, the dragon cannon, the ice weapon and the grunts with us into the battle. We have to cover a lot as this map takes quite a while, so let's start immediately. So this is the awesome map of the Pirate Tale Arena, where we're gonna write some history, at least on the leaderboards. To start off, we're gonna position a mortar on the left side, and since that's dangerous as we don't have any tower yet to slow the troops down, which are coming from the pirate ship, we need to use our hero quite a lot to make sure that no troop will reach our skyshot generator. To help out with that a little, we're using also here the snowball. So in general, the beginning of this arena is quite intense, but only because we took just the snowball with us and have no other ammunition, which could help us here a little with the incoming waves. On the other hand, we're having here the grunts, which are having their performance later on when we're gonna make it to a bigger amount of kills. Alright, so far it could appear that the way how I'm building the towers here is somehow random, but everything will become a massive setup to defeat all enemies up to 526 kills when we're done with building all the towers. But that's gonna take a while. Until then, let me lose some words on the arena. In my opinion, the design of the Pirate Tales is pretty awesome. We're having a lot of space and we can be creative with the tower placements, which means that we can approach this arena from a lot of different sides where we are using different strategies to be successful. So all the tower placements are just a suggestion from me, as I think it's gonna be pretty hard right now to tell which strategy is gonna be the best one. However, what I certainly can say is that when you watch this video until the end, you're gonna have an advantage, as this loadout can help you to get very far in comparison to your competitors. So you might have noticed that I started to upgrade the mortars to max level right in the beginning, and that has a purpose. As we proceed, we're building every other tower around its location, so when we try to defend ourselves at a specific point, it's better to upgrade the mortar rather than building level 1 mortars all over the map. Okay, that's basically it for the introduction to this map, and I need to mention something at this point. My strategy took me almost 1 complete hour, and I don't think that many of you want to see a tutorial which is that long. Therefore, we're gonna speed up a lot, and when we reach such a point, I'm gonna let the clip run at normal speed. So far I haven't found any other way to show you the arena gameplays, but if you have a suggestion for producing such videos in a better way, feel free to let me know in the comment sections. Otherwise, I'm gonna continue exactly like now to speed up the game to important situations occurring for us. Of course, if you think that the increased speed is not something enjoyable, so you rather like to see every second of the video properly, mention that as well. As we're just speaking of it, the first highlight or important situation is coming after 85 kills, where we are having the first mini bosses coming in, and this guy is a beast. He suffers almost no damage from our tower, and I'm wondering why the developers made this guy so tough. We're actually forced to use our dragon cannon to get access to our snowball a lot more often, and at the moment it seriously looks like we're gonna lose our heart to this one if we're not continuing to press the dragon cannon button to activate its ability. At the moment we additionally don't have the hero alive. She's gonna return in 5 seconds, and the mini boss is getting closer and closer to the skyshot generator. Good that we have leveled up the honey guns already, which at least give us some more time until we have our ammunition available again, which is gonna help us here in the end to take down this mini boss and save our skyshot generator from taking any damage. Alright, let's go to the next situation where I can demonstrate to you why I was taking the grunts with me instead of any other ammunition, as so far it caused me a lot of trouble and stress. But like I said in the beginning of the video, we need them for sure for later in this arena, and now we have reached the point where they come in handy. After 92 kills, we're having here the pirate glasses coming out of the pirate ship, and in that moment my snowball was not ready, so I had no option to stop them, and my mortar struggled a lot to cope with their speed. So I only could drop the snowball very late, and we're still having pirate glasses moving towards the skyshot generator, which is of course pretty dangerous. For such cases I took the grunts with me to catch those troops which are getting too close to our skyshot generator. Since we want to have as many hearts as possible for later rounds, we cannot afford to lose any hearts already here that early. At the moment I was playing around 5 minutes, and there's still a long way to go to finish this map with the score I had. For the fact that not a lot is happening in the time between now, we're gonna skip now up to 197 kills, where I'm gonna show you a small tip to beat Scorcher, as this guy is super strong. Once again, my goal is to build all the towers first of all close to each other and more or less around the honey guns to give my mortars a chance to work on the incoming troops. What happened in between was actually that I was just building up a couple of new mortars, but as I said, not that much was going on. But against Scorcher we need to use our sneaky strategy, which is why I've built one cannon next to the pond. This cannon is gonna help us a lot to block the path of Scorcher, which is gonna give us time which we need to take him out. Until he makes his way there, we're speeding up again with the dragon cannon, and in a second our hero is gonna help out as well. Even though Scorcher is very slow, under the effect of the honey gun, he can take all of those mortar shots easily, which is why I thought this moment is important to mention. Anyways, let's speed up a little until Scorcher reaches the point where we need to change the position of the cannon. So with 37% health left, we're gonna make him turn around and let him walk all the way back around our towers. But again, it's insane to see how much damage this guy can take. And we're also gonna see that he can cause us huge troubles with his flamethrower, because he can burn our troops to crisps. But due to our tower placements, this guy needs to walk a large round, which is due to the cannon placement, and as the cannon is the cheapest tower to buy and sell, we're gonna keep that cannon at that position throughout the rest of the battle. Once again we're letting Scorcher turn around, however now he starts to speed up a lot, and even the honey gun barely manages to slow him down. So we're gonna need here another snowball, but additionally we're gonna need our grunts in a second, and you'll see why this guy is actually the most dangerous boss which we're facing in the whole arena. Just have a look at the grunts right now, and this flamethrower guy deals splash damage, so even though we're having 4 grunts, they all are getting burnt into ashes simultaneously. However, this is now the end of him, as we're getting him down to 0 health, but considering the efforts and amounts of the dragon cannon we've invested here, this guy was definitely on another level. From the gears earned, we finally can continue to improve our defense. As I said, we're always upgrading our mortars before we build a new one and position them close to the honey guns to benefit from their effects. So we're entering the phase now where things become more calm as we build up a proper defense. So what I'm gonna do here is skip ahead until we reach the next spot where I really started to struggle. And some of you might be wondering now why this map takes so long for me. I've seen on my second account that there are actually people who made it that far without taking so long, and the only explanation for this is that the strength of the incoming troops varies from each league you're in. So in League 1 or 2 the enemies have less health, and therefore it's possible to get that far even without having high level towers as I do. So that's explaining why it's taking for me so long to make progress on my main account, but these are actually good news for everyone, since I think this strategy can work out for you no matter in which league you are. So after 50 minutes we upgraded our base to the maximum level possible, and now it's time for the grunts to have their special entrance. As I'm stacking up gears now and have no option to invest those, we're just placing huge armies to face all the approaching enemies and boss waves. This is not only helping us to stop the approaching waves, but also to deal some additional damage, as they are also able to attack our enemies. So we are clustering those grunt armies into areas. One right in front of the Skyshot generator as a backup in case an enemy makes it there, and the other one in the center of the map so that the mortars can help them as well, facing everything that is coming from the pirate ship. Going on now to the next highlight, and this is occurring when we're having pirate lasses spawning, and those guys are gonna confront our grunts in a direct combat in a second. Even though I froze them, they don't take that much damage anymore, and exactly for this situation I build up those huge armies as we need to stop them at some point. Alright, so they're coming closer and closer to our grunts, and on the first view it might appear that we're prepared enough to face them, but have a closer look at that. This is pure madness. The pirate lasses slice through our hordes of grunts, and they're gonna take out so many of them. One grunt gets killed within seconds, and that's why all of a sudden our armies becoming smaller and smaller. We can see them dying so fast. Even the mortars, which are doing splash damage at the moment, take so much time to deal at least with one of the pirate lasses, and that's why we needed to use here another snowball to help out, which we're gonna use in a second. So I guess here we can see why it is important to build up a huge army of grunts, because otherwise we would have a problem to deal with those guys. And this would have been the end of the match if we haven't filled that arena with troops. But I guess a better example to illustrate that is the last opponent which we're gonna face as our last kill. And this guy is a mini boss, and I'm almost certain that the developers actually didn't plan that anyone in our league is meant to exceed this score. So the mini boss is so tanky that after a minute or so we probably inflicted at most 5% damage on him. So to deal with him will be the longest fight I've ever had with one single troop in my whole survival arena career. Just to demonstrate that, we're gonna make our clip 600% faster, which is insane. So this fight actually takes over 8 minutes to finish this unit, which is incredibly long. And now I guess you can understand why I was saying that this match is the longest one I've ever had, and why I think that there is a huge difference between the strength of enemies in League 1 or 2 and this one. On top of that, we had to sell in this battle towers, which completely destroyed my setup. So afterwards, it's practically impossible to continue further. In addition, the mini-boss got to the other army, which is standing right in front of the Skyshot generator, so even with those huge amounts of grunts in 2 positions, we barely managed to take him out, but in the end we're getting here kill 526. But obviously we can't go any further from this point onwards with the heavy soldiers coming in. They just fight through our remaining troops, and since we don't even have the dragon cannon left, we can't use our snowball that frequently anymore. This means we can't do a lot more about this battle. To wrap it up, I really enjoyed playing this map besides of those sometimes overpowered troops which took so much time to beat. It was quite a long journey, but with the kill 526 I'm sure that I'm gonna remain here on the first place until the event is gone. Definitely make sure to tell me about your experiences with this map and which strategy you used to perform in the Pirate Tales arena. Other than that, this is it from me. Have a great day. Peace out.